Hello, boys and girls, puppies and kitties. Welcome to the Stimpy Show on WCTG.FM. Today we have a special guest, an author of the new children's book titled Angel in a Fur Coat. She is also my cousin, Zia Enuton. Zia, say hello to our friends out there in Radio Land.
Hi guys, and thanks for having me.
So, tell us, how did you come up with the title of the book?
Well, I just told it like it is. We're angels and we have fur coats. So, we're angels in fur coats.
Simply brilliant. I mean, how did you write the book? Was it hard to type with paws?
Well, I didn't type. My person actually typed it out. I was the inspiration behind the book. You know, if you look at your person long enough, you can send signals to them. We can control our people without them even knowing it. That's how I got her to write the book.
I know what you mean. I can get my person to do exactly what I want. Except for the more cookies command. I'm still working on that. So, can you tell us a little bit about the book? What's it about?
It's a biography of dogs. I want to let all the people know what we're about. There are lots of angels trading their wings and halos for fur coats and bones. And the things that we have to do to learn to be a dog aren't always glamorous.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I still can't phantom sniffing another dog's butt. But there are a lot of pros of being a dog. Does your book go into the different types of dogs and how we help people?
Oh, yes. The search and rescue dogs who help save people, service dogs who help people through everyday life tasks, dogs who help the hearing and visually impaired, police dogs, guard dogs, movie star dogs, medical dogs, therapy dogs, the list goes on and on. It's a wonderful world of dogs.
Now, one of the biggest questions that I think people will have is, if dogs are angels, how come there are some mean dogs out there?
That's a good question, Cousin Stimpy, and I'll try to answer it the best way I can. You see, dogs are made for people, a gift to people from up above. Dogs are not made mean, but if the person you were made for does wrong or does bad things, their dog will follow. In other words, if a dog's person wants to make them mean, then that's what will happen. The dog will become mean to fulfill their person's wish. That's how strong our bond is with our person. Good or bad, and through thick or thin, we stick with our person until our last breath.
Amen. I have one more question that I think people would have, and then we can go to some of my listeners' questions that have been emailed to the station for me to ask you. I want to ask you about the pounds. If dogs are made for people, then why do some dogs end up in the pound?
Wow, these are some great questions, Cousin Stimpy. I want you to think back when you were just a pup, and the first time you laid eyes on Robin. Did you know that she was the person that you were made for?
I knew it before I even saw her. I smelled her scent and knew she was the one. And when she picked me up, the bond was immediate.
Exactly. That's why you never ended up in the pound. You see, when puppies are born, sometimes the wrong person ends up with them. Therefore, the bond is never formed, and they end up in the pound waiting for the person who they were made for to find them.
Did you hear that, people? Make sure you check the pounds for the dog that was made for you. Now, before I go to our listeners' questions, I want to get a little personal. I know I've agreed not to talk about your pink toe. You said that you'd rather leave the explanation to the book. But could I at least see it? Please?
If you must.
This is so freaking cute. Now the questions from our listeners. I'll pick out 3 at random. This question comes from Miles in Ocean City. He wants to know if you prefer metal bowls, plastic bowls, or glass bowls.
I prefer metal bowls for my water because it keeps the water nice and cool. And I like glass bowls for my food because they are microwavable. But when I travel, I bring along plastic bowls. They are more efficient.
The next question comes from Fifi in Snow Hill, and she asks, bottle water or tap water?
I have no preference, just as long as it's not yellow. You know what I mean?
And the last question comes from the dog next door, my boyfriend Trouble. He wants to know what kind of collar you wear. A tote collar, leather, or harness?
I like harnesses because I tend to pull a little bit when I'm in the presence of other dogs. When I wear a collar around my neck and pull, I sometimes get choked, and it can be kind of embarrassing hacking away in front of other dogs.
We've come to the end of our interview. Thank you, Cousin Zia, for talking with us today and sharing your story with everyone. Would you like to tell everyone where we can find the book?
Sure. You can get on my website at www.gooberella.com and order it. That's GOOBERELLA.com. And you can also pick it up at Books A Million, Borders, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon.com too.
You've heard it, doggies and kitties. So now go stare at your person and give them the vibes to go buy the book. And by the way, Trouble, I like a rhinestone-studded collar with a black strap. So keep that in mind, big dog. This has been your huggable pug Stimpy at WCTG.FM, signing off. Bow wow, everybody!